Well, hi there everyone, FarmSim Gamer here, and welcome back to my map build challenge where I'm trying to convert Western Wilds into this block of land from Hamilton County in Indiana. Now, I merged the two maps together last time, so that would help you with field placement and map layout, so let's have a quick look back to see where we've got to so far. So in episode 1 we created our starting file, which is just here in the middle, and put our first field in around here, put the creek in that's kind of just to the north of it, and then in the second episode we created the field that was to the north of that, and then the two that were over the road here, and continued the creek kind of down through to sort of where the central road is. Now if we go and have a little look at Google Maps. Okay, so this is our central block of land that we're working on. We're trying to replicate this area here in the middle. This was our starting file that we've got right in the middle here, just by the crossroads. We've done the field that surrounds that farm. We've done the creek to the north of that, the field above that, and then the two that are over the road. So I think our plan is now that we're going to gradually expand out of that central crossroads. We've got another small farm that's down here that looks like it's got a little sheep or cattle pasture or something like that in it. We've got these fields here, this woodland that's to the north, so I think we'll start creating some of these other fields, and then particularly these two maybe to the south of the road. We've got a couple of fairly sort of large fields that are here, and also some other residential kind of areas. So that's the plan for the next sort of couple of episodes, and I think we'll have a quick look at the street view to see how things compare between the real life view and what I've created so far. Okay, so this is the view from the crossroads. Hidden behind these trees is our kind of starting file with our house just nestled in here. This was the first field that we created. There's the creek that runs here. The bridge that we put in, the creek runs underneath that and across the road. And we did the field that was just to the north of that. And then we did these two fields that are over here on this side. Now we've obviously got to add in a lot of details like the telegraph poles and signs if I can find them. And then over this side we've kind of got a bit of residential area, some houses that are hidden in here, and then that big road that goes down to the south, and these fairly large fields that are to the left and right of it. And then if we have a look a little bit further east down the road, you can see the starting farm that's just off there. We've got the creek and the line of trees that run just up to the north of the field there. And then over here we've got this small, what looks like a little cattle farm. Got an animal shed there. We've certainly got an animal trailer of some description here, and you probably can't make it out, but on top of the little post box there's a cow. So I think it's pretty certain that that's a cattle farm. So this is our current view in Farming Simulator of the crossroads. You can see our house that's just through the trees there, the first field that we've created, the line of trees that define where the creek is, the field that's kind of beyond that, and then the two fields that we created just on the other side of the road. Now nothing on the south side of the road at the moment, so we need to put those two residential properties in there, and then we've got the two sort of fairly large fields that are left and right of that central road. And then if we look a bit further east down that road as well, then that's where that little cattle farm is, so we'll probably look at starting to put that in as well. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is use Courseplay to draw in the field that goes around that little cattle farm, which is roughly going to be about here, and then I think I will also then do this large field that's finishes kind of in line with this the edge of this field here, and heads off down there. Sort of probably about half the distance, I would say, between here and those buildings that you can see at the bottom. I might need to get some bigger equipment, I think, if I'm going to start sort of creating these fields. Now you might see that my budget has kind of dropped a little bit down to just under 54,000. Now I did buy some additional plots of land as well. I think another 10 plots in total, all on this sort of southern side of the map, where some of these fields will cross over. So I needed to buy those so that I could create those fields. So I think that's what I'm going to start off with first, and then we'll sort of see how things develop from there. Okay, so first up, I'm going to go into Courseplay. We'll go into the Courseplay menu and to draw custom field, and then I can draw that field in here, which is probably an easy way of doing it, rather than trying to kind of use the tractor and kind of guess in field where I should be going. So this field runs from the roadside, and of course I can adjust the position once I've actually done this. So I'll start my kind of first marker point sort of down here, Now it finishes, I'm going to go sort of fairly straight up to the corner, but it doesn't quite go as far as the corner of the other field. And then it goes across on an angle a little bit. So again, I'm not going to do it as a sort of a straight line. I'll do it a little bit as a sort of slight jaggedy line, so to speak. But it goes across to this sort of corner here. And then it drops down a little bit sort of south to there, and then it goes across and sort of dinks up a little bit, and then sort of goes across roughly to about the middle of sort of field sort of plot 28, so roughly about there, and then it heads kind of right the way down to the roadside, and then we go across, and then there's sort of that little cattle farm is sort of roughly where the joining those two sort of plots are. So I think I'll go along to about let me kind of guess, probably just after the plot, and then I need to create a little kind of section in here, probably about that size, hopefully. Again, we'll kind of guess it when I go back down to the roadside, and then we'll go across back to the sort of corner. So I will save that field. Yes, I do. CP1, I can kind of rename that, and I'll call it cattle farm. Whoops, take my capitals off. Cattle farm field, and I'll save that off. And hopefully we'll go back down to the field side, and we'll kind of see where we are, and as I probably showed you beforehand, I can then kind of edit these points that are down here and sort of join them together. I've probably left quite a big gap there between the other fields, so I'm going to sort of just have a little play around with this, tidy it up a little bit, and then I'll bring the cultivator over and we can start creating this field. Okay, well I tidied that field up a little bit. The area in the middle where the cattle farm is, I made far too small, so I've extended that, made that a lot bigger, and I've done the Courseplay course, and the tractor's in there, starting to do the cultivating work. I started him on the land work to start with, but realised it was better if he did the headlands first, and then I can kind of start putting in the trees that are to the north side of that field. So he's busy just doing the headland. As you can see, there's that one single strip that I'd put in the middle. So we're fairly sort of tight on the other field, I guess, but we've got a bit of a good enough gap there. So I can leave him now to get on with this. You can kind of see how that field is now mapped out, and I'm hoping that I have left enough space for that cattle farm to go in there, to be able to put a small kind of shed and a bit of a pasture for them, and put the house in and everything else. So that's one thing that I'll do probably a little bit later in the episode, and then I'm going to go over to the other side of the road and create that sort of large field that goes off down to the south, and then I'll probably go up to the shop, get a bigger tractor and cultivator, and get that field created as well. Now, one other thing I have noticed when I zoom in a little bit more in Google Maps and take a closer look at some of the fields is there's quite a few of them have got these sort of grass strips that meander through the fields, and you can see if we just do a close-up of this one that goes around that small kind of cow farm, that there's kind of two green strips that run through here that are just under grass, and I'm not 100% sure exactly what they are. I'm kind of guessing that they might be maybe sort of underground streams or something like that, where the soil gets too wet, too waterlogged for kind of crops to germinate properly and grow, so they're kind of left under grass, but they seem to sort of meander through the fields, as you can see. Now if anybody out there knows exactly what they are, then leave a comment down below and let me know. I'd be interested to sort of know, and I have sort of seen on other American maps that have been done that you see these green sort of grass strips run through them as well. So anybody out there that knows, then leave a comment. It really would be good to understand a bit more about them. And at the moment, I haven't included those grass strips when I've been cultivating the fields in, so what I'll probably do is use the painting tool and kind of paint those grass strips in once the fields have been cultivated, and I then might kind of redo the Courseplay course for each field, depending on how kind of prominent those grass strips are. Okay, so we've marked out the field opposite the farm with Courseplay, and bigger fields requires bigger kit. So we've got a John Deere 9420 here with a John Deere chisel plough, and he's starting to make some headway into this field. And then back over the road in the two small fields that we've got, our 4840 is planting soybeans. So at the moment, all of our tractors are busy hard at work.
I hoped we were gonna make it. He promised we would find the time, dreaming for eternity, creating perfect memories. Yeah, we hoped we were gonna make it. Little did I know that time would take us to a place where love could grow, but in a different way. Bigger than they'd say. Now looking at you keep me going back to those days, capable of keeping track of how many nights could pass. Cheap hotels and driving fast, and the radio playing our soundtrack. Broken love, tequila and bluegrass. Evenings just like movie scenes along the roads in Tennessee. Dreaming of what we could be from the back of your dad's red truck. No one thought I was gonna make it. No one believed I'd take the time for realizing my own dreams and taking care of you and me. Yeah, I knew we were always gonna make it. Little did I know that time would take us to a place where love could grow, but in a different way. Bigger than they'd say. Now looking at you keep me going back to those days, capable of keeping track of how many nights could pass. Cheap hotels and driving fast, and the radio playing our soundtrack. Broken love, tequila and bluegrass. Evenings just like movie scenes along the roads in Tennessee. Dreaming of what we could be from the back of your dad's red truck. Those days we were invincible. Splitting up would be unthinkable. Though at times it made me cynical, I wouldn't change a single thing. 'Cause he gave me you keep me going back to those days, incapable of keeping track of how many nights could pass. Cheap motels and driving fast, and the radio playing our soundtrack. Broken love, tequila and bluegrass. Evenings just like movie scenes along the roads in Tennessee. Dreaming of what we could be from the back of your dad's red, from the back of your dad's red truck.
So things are beginning to take shape now. There's our original farm just over there, and here's the new cattle farm that we've just put in as well. So got the shed and the fenced off area out the back here, and then a small house just at the front here down by the roadside. So not a very big farm, just a few cattle there I think. And then over the road we've also kind of cleared out this other area where there'll be some kind of residential properties as well. Another couple we need to go in here. We put the tree line in here, and that will continue down the gap between those two fields there, and then we worked late into the night last night to get this field kind of cultivated and ploughed in as well. So that's our kind of second sort of fairly large field, and then the ones that go off over here to the east are even bigger as well, but we'll leave those for the next episode. And then just along the top of this field here as well, we've continued the tree line where the creek is, and we've carried on putting the creek in sort of just up to north of the edge of this field, and we've filled this area in with trees as well. So things are starting to progress, and we're starting to kind of get the basics of the fields in shape in and around the central crossroads here. And we just did, or in the process of finishing off, another field that's just up to the north. You can just about see our tractor over there just in the distance finishing off the cultivating as well. So this field down here we've kind of got some weeds that have started to pop up already, so he's just finishing off this next field here, and then we'll carry on going up north either side of the road, and then we'll kind of gradually expand from there in the next few episodes. And we're keeping our farm vehicles busy as well. They've been not only cultivating but continuing to plant. And as you can see, the map is now beginning to kind of take shape and starting to kind of feel like a real place, especially now that we've got that second farm in just up the road. So a lot more detail to kind of add in. We've still got an awful lot more to do, but things are certainly starting to take shape, and I'm pretty pleased with what we've done so far. And our crops are beginning to grow, as you can see. We've got some weeds coming up as well, so we need to take care of those. Need to go and get a weeder from the shop so we can get those sorted. And now we've got another 4 fields that we need to plant as well. So I think I might have to go and get a second planter so we can get those done sort of fairly quickly and get some crops growing in the ground. And we're trying to sort of farm as we go as well, so we can kind of generate some income that'll help us do the expansion on the farm. So it's all looking good so far. Right, well, I'm going to carry on planting some of these fields. We're going to get another bigger planter as well to put on our 9420 so he can start doing some of the large fields. And I'll probably carry on adding in a bit of detail for the trees and things like that, just to kind of flesh out some of the areas. I won't put any more of the residential stuff in yet. I'll save that for the next episode. So that's it for this episode. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, then don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to the channel, then it would be great if you could do so, because that really does help us. So thanks very much for watching. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are, stay safe, take care, and I will catch you on the farm next time. Bye for now.